And now I'm going to stop eating my breakfast. Sorry. Okay, so on your paper copy, I've got a little chart there in the top corner, just kind of going over. We've talked about some of these words before, but again, it's been a long time. So we wanted to just kind of double check or reaffirm this information with you, what these things are. So when we say that we are finding the sum of something, the sum of two numbers, we mean that we are adding them. If we're looking for the difference of two numbers, we are subtracting them. Okay, so the difference between 10 and 12 is 2, or actually it'd be negative 2 because it'd be 10 minus 12. The sum of 10 and 12 is 22 because you'd add 10 and 12 together. And then some more things that we have here is when we're talking about our inequalities, being able to know when am I talking about a less than sign, when am I talking about a greater than sign. So it does get a little tricky. We have the is less than. If something is less than something else, we can use our inequality sign for the less than symbol. But then we have a couple where maybe it doesn't seem as obvious. So if we have is at most, that's still talking about a less than problem, because we're saying the maximum, it's at most it's going to cost you $20, meaning that it's not going to go over $20. So we're saying 20 is the max, everything else would be lower than that. So that's why we're saying it's still a less than problem. Same thing, no more than $20. That means it's not going to go over, it's lower than 20. So that's why we put our less than. And these in both of these cases, these would be less than or equal to a value. And so then on the other hand, on the reverse side or the flip side, notice I flipped the inequalities. If it says is more than, then we're talking about a greater than, or is at least, or no less than. It sounds like they should be less than or equal to symbols, but they're not. They're going the other way. They're actually reversed. So they're kind of tricky. My cell phone bill is going to be at least $100. Like something, I know it's going to be bare minimum, it'll be this much, but it's probably going to be more depending on, if I used, went over my data or something, because I'm still one of those people that don't have unlimited data. So looking at some basic problems here today, we'll do a couple, and then I'm going to have you guys try a couple. Oh, you know what? Here I am. I didn't fill out my little chart here. I know what they are, so I'll fill those out in just a second. Oh, I got to move my little picture out of the way. Okay, so we have a couple of verbal sentences here. It says the sum of 13 and a number m is at least 19. So we're talking about sum, so that means this is an addition problem of 13 plus m, or m plus 13, however you want to say it, is at least 19. That means we're going to be not less than, we're actually talking greater than or equal to 19. So we get this equation that looks like that. So 13 plus m, 13 plus m because it's sum, is at least, meaning 19 is the lowest it could be. Alligator eats the bigger number. So 13 plus m is greater than 19, or greater than or equal to 19. And so then we're going to solve our inequality from there. We want to get m by itself, t-chart it, get rid of the 13. Okay, so that means we're going to move the 13 over. We're going to subtract 13 from both sides. And so that will give us m by itself, which is very handy when we're trying to solve. M is just greater than or equal to whatever 19 minus 13 is, which is 6. Look, guys, my signs are correct. I'm so proud of myself. So what we'll do then to graph the solution, we're going to put a closed circle on 6, and we're going to arrow this to the right. Because it's greater than, we're talking about the numbers that are bigger. I don't have my numbers on there. I don't know why I put, like, these graphs are the only ones that don't have their 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know why, but somehow I just overlooked that. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's my 6, closed circle, and we're going to arrow it to the right, shade it in, that kind of deal. All right, so for our next graph or our next equation or word problem, it says the difference of y and 5 is no more than 2. So difference means we're talking about a subtraction problem. So I'm going to do y minus 5 is no more than, so that means it's actually going to be less than or equal to 2. No more than means we're saying that's the biggest it's going to go, so we're going to be less than that. Now we solve it, we're going to do our t-chart, so we want to get rid of the minus 5, so we're going to do a plus 5 on both sides. And if I do that, that will get rid of the 5 by the y, and it's going to add 2 and 5 together, which will give us y less than or equal to 7. So we're going to go to 7 on our graph. Count 7 out from the right. I realize I should have had the numbers on there. I don't know why I didn't. But I'm going to go to 7 on my graph, put a closed circle, and because it's less than or equal to, we're going to arrow to the left. And fill it in or draw a line or something so that we know that we're going to the left. I'm just realizing I'm trying to fill in my bubbles here. Okay. So then, oops, the last one I have here, I forget that if I roll the mouse wheel, it also makes the things show up. I'm like, ah, dang, I didn't mean to do that. So here we have a difference problem again, difference meaning subtraction. So now it's saying the difference of c and negative 2. So it's not saying just c minus 2, it's saying c minus negative 2. And that's going to change, when we think about that. And then it says is less than 3. So we're just going to put our less than symbol and our number 3. Now here's the thing. I have minus a negative, and that's going to do what? If I do minus negative, it turns it into a plus positive. Okay, or we change the sign. Subtracting a negative or subtracting anything is the same as adding its opposite value. So this really becomes c plus 2, less than 3. And so now we want to do our t-chart and get c by itself. So we will subtract that 2 from both sides. I gotta close this little guy down. There we go. And so then if I do 3 minus 2, the 2 minus 2 just disappears, so c is all by itself. And I got to do 3 minus 2. I wrote too big. So I get c is less than 1. And so now I want to graph that. It's an open circle because it's just a less than, not a less than or equal to. And it's less than, so we're going to shade it to the left. Open circle on 1 with an arrow to the left. And so it'll look like that. All right. So I did make some modifications to the my turn, your turn, so the answer will show up when it's all said and done. I don't know if it's going to show up first or later. I put animations on it, but I don't know how it's going to work. So we're going to find out here in just a second. Hopefully it'll have a blank slide and let you guys draw first, and then the answers will show up. If not, I'm not too worried about it either. All right, so we have a couple my turn, your turn. We'll do them one at a time, see how we do. So I'm going to give you guys a couple of minutes to try number 4. The difference of a number b and negative 7 is at least 3. So this is almost identical to the one we just did. Yay, it did what I wanted it to do. All right, so you guys try this out. So let's see here. Okay, so I think I'm gonna try this. If you're starting this out, it says the difference of b and -7 is at least 3. So we're gonna see if this works. So I'm wondering, does it show up? Did it all show up on your answers? It looks like it did. Oh, that's too bad. On your guys' is like where you're actually supposed to be drawing, all of the answers are already there. That's cool. Oh well. Well, that's what it's supposed to look like. It was supposed to be a my turn, your turn. But apparently it's just my turn. Well, I tried. Oops. Let me go back. So the difference of b and -7 is at least 3. So that should be a minus -7. So yeah, there's nothing for you guys to do because on your, like I was just looking at people's, which might be why I got a message like, wait, I'm confused. Because there's nothing for you to do because it's already filled in. My bad. I didn't know that it was going to show up with the answers already on your page. I thought it would like click through like an animation like it had done with the rest of the pages. But yeah, so you would do minus -7, and then that turns it into a plus. It's at least 3, which means it's more than 3. So that's why we're having a greater than or equal to symbol for that. And so then the minus negative turns into a plus, and then we do our skills there. We do our subtracting to get b by itself, and that just gives us b is greater than -4, greater than or equal to -4. So that means you'll have a closed circle and an arrow to the right. Because it's greater than, we want to go bigger than -4, so that's why we're going to the right. So that's a shame that your my turn, your turn got taken away. So you could just draw a happy face that you didn't have to do it, guys. There you go. It's a draw slide. If you want to draw a happy face, you go right ahead. I was trying to do attendance in the Pear Deck, and I didn't pay attention to what you guys were actually looking at. Oh, and Ryan. Right, where's Ryan? I know, there he is. Ryan, Veronica, and Wyatt. I thought I got Mariah. Oh, Mariah's first. Mariah. So who did I it, Wyatt? Oh, okay, I see what I did. So it looks like the only person who didn't join the Pear Deck is getting a message from me right now. Okay. All right, well, so the next one then is basically the same thing. It's going to have all of the answers there for you already. So obviously, if you're looking at your pear deck, you can see our answers have already showed up there, but that's okay. The sum of 9 and a number y is no more than 13. So sum, we're talking about an addition problem, and no more than 13 means we're less than or equal to 13. So again, if you want to draw on here, you'd like a little happy face that you're like, hey, I don't actually have to do the math because the math's already there for me. Perfect. So you would subtract your 9 from both sides so that y is by itself and y is just less than or equal to 4. All right. So we got 2 left here. I like the, that's a nice little face there. Some people are like, no, not doing these. Not my favorite. Aw. I like your guys' little happy faces and your little hearts. They're so cute. Okay, I think the next one. Okay, yeah, the next two, they're interactive, but they're just a drag and drop kind of thing. So, but I don't know, it might be it might already have all the answers there. I'm not sure. So we'll find out. Let's find. So, and we only have, oh, I didn't finish this one. Draw a closed circle on the floor, an arrow to the left. And that's because it's a equal to, so it's a closed circle, and it's to the left because it's a less than. Okay. Oh, cool. All right, this one. So this one is, it's doesn't have all of the answers shown up for you already. Woohoo! That's kind of handy. So you got your dots. So it says drag and drop. So this is just our how are you feeling kind of thing on the side there. So if you want to drag your dot to somewhere on my face, pick a face as to how you're feeling about some of our word problems here. And while we're looking at this next one, so you're going to see a couple kind of like this on the Delta Math problems here in just a couple minutes. So you're checking a bag at an airport. Bags can weigh no more than 50 pounds or there is an additional fee. Your bag weighs 29 pounds. Find the possible weights W in pounds that you can add to the bag before you'll have to pay the additional fee. Okay, so what we know for sure, it's no more than 50 pounds. So our total weight has to be less than or equal to 50 pounds. Okay, that's what that no more than means. Oops. Oh, wait, where'd it go? Oh, wait, there it is. Okay, my bad. I apologize. Okay, so then it says your total is 29 pounds right now. So that means that whatever weight you add to it, because you can, and it says that you can add to the bag, plus that 29 pounds still has to give us a total weight less than or equal to 50. So that's kind of where that's inequality comes from. You could do W plus 29 or 29 plus W, depending on how you see that. And so then we're just going to solve this. So that's our inequality. And then we want to solve the inequality. So to solve it, we would just subtract our 29 from both sides. And that would give us a solution of less than or equal to 21 pounds. So how do we feel about kind of reading through some real life Are they terrible? Are they not that bad? I see a lot of us are against kind of in the I'm on the fence and easy peasy. So some people are like, yeah, I got this, no problem. I see that nobody so far is responding with completely lost. So that's good. So just kind of drag it onto the side there. It's kind of like the one we had where it's the three guys across the middle. This is just because it's me now instead of the extra people. So there's our, so yeah, I'm writing this inequality down as I'm working or talking. So that's why it's taken me just a second so that I can post the notes with answer keys. Although actually, I guess it's already going to have it. So, you know, all right. All right, one more. So then for this one, we're going to kind of do the same thing. And now we have some possible answers here. So if you want to try and start thinking about it, about what we're gonna, what would be you think the answer. So we're looking for the value of x, not the value of the perimeter. So let's read through this here. It says the perimeter of the trapezoid is more than 23.8 centimeters. What are some possible values for the missing side? So remember, perimeter, oops, wrong button. There we go. Perimeter is the sum of all of the sides. So our four sides, we have an x, a 6.2, a 4.9, and another 6.2. And it must be more than, because they said the perimeter, it must be more than 23.8. So will our answer for x be 23.8? It could be, but does it have to be? That's what we're trying to figure out. So let's turn this into an inequality. So if I have x, I have 6.2, 4.9, 6.2. I'm going to combine like terms. And I'm just going to make that 17.3. So here's my inequality. So from there, what do you guys think the possible answer for x is? Is it 23.8? Is it 7.5? Is it 6.5? Is it 5.5? If you were to solve this, what would you get for x? Right? Think about this, guys. If you t-chart this, and you're trying to get x by itself, and you're getting rid of the 17.3, is x going to be 23.8? If you get rid of 17.3 from 23.8. T-chart. You are going to subtract your 17.3 from both sides. So your answer is not 23.8. So if you subtract, type it in. I'm writing this down. It's like I've got everybody's all over the board. This is pretty interesting right now. I'm going to hit my show responses here. If anybody's looking at the Google Meet screen, you can see where everybody's kind of at right now. Okay, well, good. Nobody thinks it's 23.8 anymore. That's good. So I've got a lot of people kind of there's, okay, everybody thinks it's one of the 0.5s. I see a lot of thumbs up kind of in the middle. I see one person has it on the left, one person's got it on the right. I got a couple of people that are like, I have no idea, Ms. Kane. All right, so if I wonder if can I click it and it'll still show me? Nope. Okay, I gotta hide responses before I can. Okay, I have to go back to the presentation before it'll let me do it. Okay, so then last thing, boop. If I subtract 17.3 from 23.8, I should get 6.5. So our answer is C, I guess, if you had to put a word for it. Our answer should be x is greater than 6.5. If we plugged in 5.5 into that inequality, 5.5 plus 17.3 only makes 22.8. So it's not enough. 22.8 is not bigger than 23.8. So 5.5 is not enough. The other ones do work, but they could be lower than 7.5. They can be lower than 23.8. Anything bigger than 6.5 works. but it's not saying it can only be bigger than 7.5 or only bigger than 23.8. All right. So finally, last little one, just another temperature check here. Where do we feel? How are we doing? Is it getting easier? Thinking about some of the words, thinking about how we do our T-charts, that kind of thing. We still have 50 minutes almost in class, so we're gonna do some more practice where you guys do some practice problems. And then the homework is still just that 4.1 from yesterday. So we're gonna do some practice problems in class. And then if you get those done early too, then you'll just do your homework, your paper copy for Monday. All right. So what we are going to do next then is we are going to go to our Delta Math. I think. Ooh, maybe new prompt. I think it'll let me. Um, I thought maybe it would let me put in a website, but it does not look like it's gonna let me do that. So let me see here. No, it won't let me add it. I thought maybe I could just add a website right here for you guys to go to, but it's not gonna let me. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead. I see a couple of people kind of in the middle. That's okay. I've got one person who looks like we need to do some more interventions with, that they're like, nope, this is not okay. But for the most part, everybody's like, okay. For the most part, it seems you guys appreciate being asked your input during class. And I do want you to have your input during class. Okay, so I'm going to close this presentation down and I will email it to you so that you guys have these copies and these responses, and that you know that you have, a detailed lesson of all of the steps for your math. So that'll get emailed to you. So I'm going to end the show. And then I'm going to have you guys go ahead and go to Delta Math. And we're going to do a couple of practice problems. The 4-1 worksheet, or homework, I think I called it, but I should change the name to classwork. Okay. Copy that link. And that should end the Pear Deck. Okay. So then, I should probably stop my recording. Maybe. Don't think I need